It's 11:14 p.m. You're not asleep. You were supposed to be asleep 2 hours ago. But instead, you're lying in bed, phone lighting up your face, and you're doing math. Bad math. The kind that doesn't work no matter how many times you run it. Rent, groceries, car payment, that quick dinner that quietly turned into $120. You're trying to answer a simple question. Am I getting ahead or just surviving again? And then you open it. That tab, the one you never fully close. Realtor.ca. $899,000. Semi-detached. Nothing special. And suddenly you feel it. That tightness in your chest. Because one voice says, you're falling behind. Everyone else is buying. And another voice, quieter but more honest, says, if you do this, you might not get out. There are two versions of you awake at 11:14 p.m. One is afraid of missing out. The other already signed the mortgage, and neither of them are sleeping well. My name is Sai, and I spend an unreasonable amount of time looking at housing data, interest rates, and how money actually behaves in Canada so you don't have to. Today, we're going to break something down properly. The 38x wealth gap. Why it exists, why it's misunderstood, and why for a lot of people, a house becomes financial imprisonment with a nice backyard. Meet Derek. Tech job. $130,000 a year. He did everything right. Saved, waited, stayed disciplined. The bank approved him for $950,000, so he bought for $899,000. At first, it felt like winning. Housewarming party, new furniture, photos online. Then reality showed up. A furnace repair, $1,100. Not life-changing, but not optional either. Now let's look at his numbers. About $5,800 a month all in. After tax, he brings home around $7,800. That means 74% of his income goes into housing. That's not ownership. That's financial imprisonment with a nice backyard. Derek isn't broke, but he's stuck. No flexibility, no margin, no room for mistakes, just surviving each month. Now meet Marcus. Same age, same salary, same city. Marcus rents $2,350 a month. Nothing fancy. But Marcus does one thing differently. Before he can think, before he can justify spending, before his brain gets involved, he invests. Automatically. $1,800 every month. No stock picking, no hype, just simple index funds. He doesn't feel rich, he doesn't talk about it, but after 10 years, he's built around $330,000. Derek, meanwhile, has about $190,000 in equity and a line of credit for renovations. So here's the real question. Who has more freedom? Now let's talk about the number you've probably heard before. The median homeowner has around $400,000 in net worth. The median renter, around $10,000. That's a 38 times difference. And this is where most people get it wrong. This is not proof that housing is a great investment. It's proof that forced behavior beats good intentions. Because homeowners don't choose to invest, they're forced to. Every single month. No debate. Renters, on the other hand, plan to invest the difference, but life gets in the way. Food delivery, upgrading the car, trips, subscriptions, not bad decisions, just easy ones. And over time, those easy decisions create a massive gap. The market rewards patience and punishes cleverness. Now let's talk about the part nobody shows you, the real cost of owning a home. A mortgage on an $899,000 home might be around $4,400 a month. Over time, you'll pay about $1.3 million to own it. The bank makes more money than the house is worth. Now add property tax, about $500 a month. Maintenance, around $750 on average. And repairs that show up when you least expect them. In the first 10 years alone, you might pay around $350,000 in interest. Gone. That's nearly $500,000 that doesn't build wealth. So when someone says their house went up $200,000, you now know what to subtract first. Now let's zoom out, because this isn't really about housing, It's about freedom. There's a point in your financial life where your money starts working harder than you do. That's the crossover point, when your investments or assets generate enough to support your lifestyle. That's when things change. Not loudly, quietly. You stop needing permission. You stop fearing change. A mortgage is a long-term obligation. No breaks, no flexibility. Investing starts optional, but becomes powerful over time. Marcus builds a freedom fund. Derek builds equity with constraints. Both paths can work, but only one gives flexibility sooner. Wealth isn't a kitchen upgrade. It's the power to say no. So what should you do? Be honest. If you buy, don't max out. Buy less house than the bank says you can afford. If you rent, don't rely on willpower. Automate before your brain gets involved. Because both paths can build wealth, but only if you follow through. Close the tap. Not forever, just for tonight. Because the goal was never the house. The goal was the absence of dread. The ability to sleep without running numbers in your head. The ability to say no. And that doesn't come from renting or buying. It comes from discipline, consistency, and a few boring decisions that quietly change your life. I'm Sai. I'll see you in the next one. If this made you rethink even one decision, that's enough. Comment below. Are you team rent or team buy? And subscribe if you want more content like this. No hype.